Today I'm going to talk about a road trip that I have planned that goes from St. Louis down to Ozark National Scenic Riverways in Van Buren, Missouri. I'm Melissa. I'm Mom on a Walk. If you're new here, glad to have you. If you're returning, welcome back. For this trip, our first stop would be Johnson Shut-In State Park. We'd check out the visitor center, maybe do a quick hike, play around, probably eat some lunch before we got on the way again. I'd probably plan for about 2 hours at this stop. And then once we got on our way, we would go right to our campsite. We'd set up camp. I probably wouldn't plan any other activities for that evening, just to hang out on the campground. A lot of times they have really good playgrounds, which leads me to a few things that I would check before scheduling a campsite. So I'd make sure that they had a bathhouse or shower house. I would also check to make sure that they had flushing toilets, not just pit toilets. Sometimes you get those more primitive campsites that don't have flush toilets. I would also check to see if they have a playground. Since I have younger kids, it's necessary. Another thing I would check is if they have a camp store and if you can purchase firewood outside of the camp store hours. If sometimes you get there and the camp store is already closed and you still need firewood for the night. A lot of times they'll have little like kiosk type things and you just drop your money in the box and pick up your firewood and go on. Sometimes they don't. That being said, bring some cash so you can purchase firewood outside of store hours. And then the next day, day 2, we would head to, I think, the Alley Mill portion of the park. And check out, or we would do a hike there, probably 2, because it's so beautiful up there based on pictures. And get our stamp, our national passport book stamp at the visitor center. Speaking of passport book stamps, most national park sites have stamp locations where you can stamp when you've been there and which site you went to. The Ozark National Scenic Riverways has 2 stamp locations. They also typically will have a junior ranger program. If you like learning a little bit extra about the places that you go, these can be really fun. I enjoy them a lot. Unfortunately, my kids don't enjoy them, so we typically skip them. I try not to be too annoyed with my kids about it, but it is what it is. But so I really enjoy the national park sites because there's just so much to do and learn. So after we do the Alley Mill area, we'd go back to our campsite and chill out for the evening. And then day 3, I would find a float for us to do. Since we're right on the current river, there are tons of places that do floats, and I would do one. Now that my kids are a little older, I really enjoy adding those into our trips. Day 4, we would go to the Big Spring station and get our passport stamp. Do a couple hikes down there. And then again, when we were done seeing the area, we'd go back to our campsite and just chill, have a campfire. And then the next day, day 5, we would head towards home. Our break stop for the way home would be Elephant Rock State Park. They've got a nature loop trail there. I think it's called Braille Trail. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't actually know. I hiked it when I was younger. It's more of a nature walk than a hike, but those rocks are ginormous. Like, it's insane how those rocks came to be there. And then we would just head home from there. Sometimes my kids don't want to stay or don't want to stop on that last stop because they're just worn out. And sometimes they do. We just kind of play it by ear, whether or not we make our last stop or not before heading all the way home. Thanks for joining me. Hope I will see you on the next one. If you have any recommendations for trips to plan, please leave them in the comments. Thanks.